I like Shedeur, but I also like Cam Ward because he came up the hard way. You know, he doesn't have five-star syndrome like a lot of these guys. They were stars in high school. He didn't get recruited in high school. If I was a coach right now, I would be on somebody's rear about who recruited that area and didn't see this guy.
There's a video, obviously, that has come out of him and Shedeur Sanders talking, and Shedeur said, like, hey, we should make a song together or whatever, and he go, I don't make songs. He said, I'm a football player. When people search Cam Ward, I want to say American football.
Maybe me and you should just go to a different country, start our own football league, turn it up. Nah, brother. We can be the LeVar Ball of this shit. I love the NFL, bro.
Tennessee got a great one down there with an amazing story and American dream.
My comp for Cam Ward, because of the way he plays, he reminds me of Patrick. He reminds me of Mahomes with how he can be unconventional, throw the football from all different kinds of weird angles. And then just put a bunch of horsepower on it when he needs to.
Now rolling to his right, still calmly looking, hit as he throws and delivers.
And look, to me, if someone was telling me, hey, that may be what you're getting, I'd be pretty damn excited.
Well, now tuned in to the Dark Times channel.
And so here we go again, back with another one. Welcome back to the Dark Times channel. And I want to go ahead and chime in on not only the Cleveland Browns and potentially Shedeur Sanders getting snubbed for any potential primetime game in the upcoming season, but also for the first round pick selected by the Tennessee Titans, Cam Ward, also getting snubbed for any potential primetime game in the upcoming season. And this is something that a lot of fans were calling out because it's rare that you see a number one overall pick, especially when it's a quarterback, not getting any primetime games. And one of the NFL representatives actually came out and had to make a statement about it. And this is what he said. He said, we kind of have this adage that you play your way into prime time. You don't draft your way into prime time. So the Titans are one of the teams that don't currently have a national television window assigned. But that's what things like flexible scheduling are for. And if you look down the stretch for the Tennessee Titans, they play San Francisco in week 15, Kansas City in week 16. They've got some opportunity. Every other team has to play their way into the national window. You have to go all the way back to Cam Newton, who was selected number one for the last quarterback that was selected and didn't get a primetime game. And there's no good reason that anybody could come up with to justify Cam Newton not getting a primetime game. You're talking about one of the most highly anticipated quarterbacks in a long time when he came out. Just coming off a Heisman Trophy, national title. And so, like I said, there's no good reason why he shouldn't have got a primetime game that year. And now it looks like the NFL is doing the exact same thing with Cam Ward. And you never know. It could be just for the simple reason that the NFL doesn't trust the Tennessee Titans. And possibly for good reason, because they've been somewhat of the laughing stock of the NFL for quite some time now.
So depressing.
The Titans?
Yeah,
we know. We know. Yeah,
they're being ran by the Addams family, right?
I'm fucking
So now we got Wednesday Addams running the team, right? You know, and this is where we're at. If I pay to go watch these games, I don't want to see a receiver that's supposed to be retired. Why did I have to see Randy Moss after he was ended anyway? Like, y'all had a chance to pick him in the first place. Y'all chose Kevin Dyson and didn't pick Randy Moss, and that was the downfall of the Titans from the jump. And I knew it was gonna happen.
It go way back.
I'm hurt. No, y'all don't understand. I'm hurt. There would never be a parade in Nashville.
He's spitting facts.
I want a parade in Nashville. You know how fun it would be on Broadway to have a parade?
It would.
Man, do you know how many tickets was just gonna be pulled out if we just had a party on? And I'm just saying, none of that's ever gonna happen because we're under the Addams family. My favorite running back of all time is Derrick Henry. Okay, so younger than me. Younger than me. Look, man, boy is bad, bro. 6'4", run fast, run you over, stiff. You seen the highlights. I ain't got to keep going about it. If you look at him in high school, college, he's supposed to have the career of a Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and then the Titans drafted him.
Absolutely, no doubt about it. Derrick Henry should still be a Tennessee Titan because Derrick Henry looks like he's on his way to becoming one of the top 5 running backs of all time. With the production that he's still putting up at his age and all the yards he's accumulated, all the touchdowns he's accumulated, he's up there. And so if he can string together 4 or 5 more seasons with the Baltimore Ravens, somewhere even close to what he did in Tennessee, then he's up there. He's going to be right behind the Walter Paytons, the Barry Sanders, the Emmitt Smith when it's all said and done. And the Tennessee Titans let him walk out the door. That never happens. And so like I said earlier, it could be just that the NFL doesn't trust an organization like the Tennessee Titans to be competitive and to put on a competitive match during the season. But I hope for Cam Ward's sake that this is not something else a little bit more sinister, because by all accounts, this is what people within the media, people within the NFL said they wanted when they drafted a guy like Cam Ward. This is a guy that everybody said was a good locker room guy. He was humble, somebody that was going to come in there, not be too brash. He was all about football. He was everything that they said they wanted.
Cam Ward goes from a 0-star coming out of high school. Incarnate Word does his thing. Then he goes to Washington State, does his thing. Transfers to Miami for $1.5 million, $2 million, whatever it ended up being. Transfers that school back to what it used to be as a dominant force, and then showcases himself to not only potentially be a Heisman and all that, but ends up being the number 1 overall pick. From 0 stars to the number 1 overall pick, all betting on yourself, believing in yourself, and never changing.
So the goal obviously is to be the first pick in the draft, and you have no qualms about playing for the Titans, even if it feels like they need to turn it around. You'd be part of the solution of turning them around.
Yes, sir. I think I will be. Whether it's the Titans, the Browns, Giants, Raiders, whether, what other team that needs a quarterback, I think I'll be a part of, everybody's solution. The pick will never mean anything. Whether the draft was 20 years ago to this draft, the pick will never mean nothing. The only difference between the first round and the 7th round pick is a signing bonus. At the end of the day, you got to go prove that every time you step on the field. And, you always got to remember, that there's somebody always want to, get behind you and try to catch up. So, I'm willing to, put that work in to, put myself, my family, my teammates in, good situation. And, I know as a quarterback, everything's going to be on your plate. Whether you win a game, it's your fault, you lose a game, it's your fault. I take that on every day. I'm excited to, get the journey going.
It's the right attitude. It's a great attitude.
The right attitude.
And we don't hear many guys explain it that way.
No,
at your age.
And so, as I said earlier, I hope that it's not the case that the NFL snubbed Cam Ward intentionally and intentionally left him off from getting a primetime game and an opportunity for everybody getting a chance to see him and for him to showcase his talent. Because leading up to the draft, I thought they severely disrespected Cam Ward. Leading up to the draft, everybody said that this is the worst quarterback draft in quite some time, and I couldn't understand it because Cam Ward reminded me of Patrick Mahomes.
My comp for Cam Ward, because of the way he plays, he reminds me of Patrick. He reminds me of Mahomes with how he can be unconventional, throw the football from all different kinds of weird angles. And then just put a bunch of horsepower on it when he needs to.
Now rolling to his right, still calmly looking, hit as he throws and delivers.
And look, to me, if someone was telling me, hey, that's maybe what you're getting, I'd be pretty damn excited.
I couldn't understand the mainstream media downplaying this quarterback class the way that they did.
Additional positions that everyone wants to draft high happen to be most of the weakest positions.
We don't have the same grade for Shedeur Sanders or Cam Ward or Jalen Milroe. I do believe that Garrett Nussmeier will go back to LSU. That's one more of the better prospects that we won't have this year. It is not the year to need a quarterback.
Other than who the top quarterbacks in this draft were. But that's my take on it anyway. That's my opinion on it. But hopefully that's not the case, and the NFL will see fit to give Cam Ward his shot sometime during the season with that flex schedule. And not only him, but maybe also we'll get a chance to see Shedeur Sanders in that primetime slot as well. But those are my thoughts on it anyway. Let's go ahead and try to keep that conversation going on down below, as you guys usually do. And if you're not subscribed to the channel and you've been enjoying the content so far on this channel, make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button for me as well. And as usual, peace and chaos.
Don't